That's nice and bright, isn't it? Good morning, everyone. It has just gone 6:15 and I am up and I'm getting ready, and I have a big old day today, and I might look a little bit puffy and I don't really know why. My skin, on the other hand, is looking wonderful. It is starting to shed the layers of the peel that I had when I had my hydrofacial the other day, and it's starting to look all nice. However, like I said, big day today because I'm flying with the Holland Cooper team and Jade. We are going to the Holland Cooper mill, and I can't quite believe that this day is here. We're going up to the mill basically to see the incredible production that Holland Cooper has, because they really are flying the flag for British brands at the moment, in that they are designing here and they are producing here. Their tailoring is all produced and manufactured and crafted at the mill in the United Kingdom. It's one of those things that is not an easy feat, and it's so incredible to see what she's achieved. Like, Jade often looks back on what she's done through her career and where she started, and the little stalls that she had for her brand in the beginning, and then now to where she is, and producing tailoring to the standard that she is just absolutely incredible. And we're going up there because, if you didn't know, I am working on a design collaboration with Holland Cooper, and one of those things is going to be producing my very own unique tweed, which is special in so many ways, because obviously in the olden days tweeds were associated with particular clans, and nowadays you can still very much trace your family tweed. Now, I don't know if my family had a tweed or not, but I would very much like one. And I have to remember, and you have to remember, that you're building your legacy now, and there is a good chance that what you're doing, and you might think that it's insignificant, but there is a good chance that in 200 years' time, your ancestors will be studying what you did right now. And so it could be 200 years from now, and that tweed could still be associated with my family, and I think that's pretty darn cool. So I've really thought hard about the type of tweed that I would want to bring, especially to Holland Cooper as well, because it's not just about, you know, some tweeds can be quite wild and wonderful and flamboyant, but if you have followed online for a while, you'll know that I'm not a particularly flamboyant person. I'm more of like I want to get the wear out of this, and so I've really wanted to build out a tweed that is rooted in the things that I love about tones and dressing and that kind of thing. And so we're gonna go and have a see and have a look and see how everything is working up there. It feels like a very unique opportunity, and I don't know if anyone's gone up there with them before, but I feel very lucky to be going. We're literally going there and back in a day. So we're going to be flying there this morning and then flying back this evening, which is good because Ali will be back from golf by then as well. So I'll be coming home to him and I'll have lots to tell him and hopefully lots to show him. And I'm looking forward to taking you guys with me on this little escapade together, because it's always been a brand that has felt like there's a real synergy between us. And so to be working with them in this way is really exciting. So it feels right, and it feels like it's the right time. And so I'm blooming excited. I'm also getting myself ready, and I'm still trying to get to grips with the whole makeup thing, because obviously I've spoken about the fact that I'm like trying to not wear as much makeup, and I really wasn't gonna go for like a full face today, and I haven't gone for foundation. But when you're doing something that's like quite important, I still have that mindset of, does it look like I'm rocking up having not made an effort if I don't wear any mascara, for example? So I've actually put on mascara today. It's definitely a process that I am getting used to, and I'm sure the more that I do it, because I definitely now feel like I actually like my face and prefer it without makeup on, but it's getting to the point where I feel like most comfortable even when I'm getting dressed up. Does that make sense? So yes, anyway, I'm gonna put on my outfit. I'm thinking about wearing like a summer dress and then a piece of Holland Cooper tailoring, but I also really wanted to wear one of their cardigans. Let's try some bits on together and make a decision, because I'm not quite certain just yet what I want to wear. I was going to do my hair in a ponytail as well, just to keep it off of my face, but maybe that's something I can do if I get hotter throughout the day. It's supposed to be 20 degrees today, and I'm just like, do I risk it? Do I risk it? Oh, I feel like I should, you know, even though my hair is nice and washed. I just love a ponytail. I think we're doing a ponytail. Right, I have a few options of what I'm gonna wear today. So I'm actually thinking I already know what I'm gonna take, but I've got my classic navy Holland Cooper blazer. I think this is one of the most essential Holland Cooper blazers, because this is their like navy Knightsbridge. So it's a really, really classic shape and silhouette, but looks so gorgeous with classic whites in spring. It's a really great blazer option for this time of year. But I also think, because we're going to be going on a flight and that kind of thing, I also kind of want to take their Cotswold cardigan. I wear this so much. It looks really nice just over the dress as well. So if I get too hot but I still want something over my shoulders, I could do that. I love white, navy and cream together. There is something about cream and white that I just never thought I would like, but actually absolutely love. However, because we are going to the Holland Cooper Mill, I did think that this tweed would be a good option as well, because I love the idea of like belting this in with this dress because it looks so cute. I just need to find the right belt to do it. I feel like it needs to be almost colour coordinating. See, I love this as a style. This feels like very, very me, but perhaps because it's like summery, I want to go for the navy blues, but this is just such a great all-rounder, this blazer. I love it. I thought I would also show you the Holland Cooper knit over the shoulders of a classic white dress. If you've got a classic white dress already, like this, it's just a cotton one. This is so cute as like an over-the-shoulder number, and it just adds a bit of presence. But there's so many options. I kind of wanted to do like the Holland Cooper silk scarf in my hair as well. Like this with this dress. Imagine like a bow. Oh wow. Maybe this is how we wear this. I would say that this silk scarf, I think it comes under their menswear, but I'm not entirely sure. This is like such a great styling piece. I actually love this. Can the bow work though? And does it work with the blazer? That is the question. Okay, I kind of love this. What do we think? I really like this as an outfit. And then I'd go for some heels, I think. I don't think I'd go for a basket bag. Oh my gosh, why are my feet so swollen? It's so funny. I can go with these kinds of tones. Oh, I don't know if I like the bow sticking out the bottom. I love this though. Maybe for another day I can wear the dress like this. I'll link it all down below as well, because I feel like this is such a great styling piece for a classic white dress like this. But maybe I'll just go for the blue blazer today. I want to put it in my hair, I want to put it around my waist, I want to put it everywhere. Oh, I'll show you the last blazer as well. This is the last Knightsbridge blazer, and I think this works really nicely with what I'm wearing in terms of tones. Like going for this bag and the shoes, and then this blazer is really lovely. But I think the blue feels a bit more casual, but still smart. I don't know, there's something about navy. There's just something about navy white. I love that blazer so much, but I'm gonna take the cardigan as well, just for good measure. I'm already hot, so that's a good sign. Okay, final look. Final look. Gone for a classic white dress, navy Holland Cooper blazer, Cotswold cardigan, and tan accessories. Let's head to Cheltenham. How are you? Yeah, good. Right. I did not talk to you in our meeting because we just basically had a really quick meeting before we go to the airport, just to finalise a few more things. Now what we're going to be doing is going to actually see the tweed that we have now settled on be made in the mill. So this is such a unique opportunity for me to be able to do this.
quite bumpy.
I don't know. I tell you what, I don't normally go in private jets.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why are we
bumpy? Sometimes the weather is worse when the weather is nicer. The bumpiness is worse.
Yeah, it's air pressure, isn't it? It's not actually to do with. You made it. But I just look at them and they look really relaxed.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We have arrived to the mill and we're about to have a look through a lot of the archives and all of the many different fabrics that they have here. It is just, the possibilities are endless and it is the most beautiful, beautiful building. I feel so lucky to be here. We've had the most scenic route as well and we've just been chatting all things about what's to come, and it's so nice to be doing this in such an organic way like this, and then for me to see this fabric that we have painstakingly worked on come to life here at the mill is going to be something truly, truly special. So I feel very lucky that I get to share this with you. I hope you know that I don't ever take this for granted. It's a side of my job that I really, really enjoy, and I love seeing your excitement when we announce the partnership. Just the comments to me always really show me how good we do this and how well we choose these partnerships and how well they choose to work with me as well. And so to be able to bring you on the journey of bringing this tweed to life is a dream come true. If ever there was a fabric that I would get to work on, I think you know that this would be it. So today we're going to be here watching it come to life and I feel a bit giddy. If I wasn't so bleary-eyed, I'd probably cry. So this is the tweed that we have settled on for this collaboration that we're going to be bringing to life, and we have all of the different shades. It's such a particular makeup of colours that go into making these fabrics, and seeing it like this is almost, it's a shock to see how many colours are in there and how multifaceted this is. And I think what we've realised from playing around with it, styling it with different pieces, is how versatile this is as a fabric. Because whilst this is a neutral through and through for me, it's a neutral that will allow you to pick out so many colours, so many key colours, and really make outfits around this tweed. So I'm so excited. You've got this dark sort of chocolate brown here. We've got the moss green, which I feel like really adds the evergreen element to it. We've also got some taupe. We couldn't not go with a bit of burgundy, but I love this burgundy because it's almost got like flecks of rust in it as well. And then around the other side, we've got this grey with hints of green in there as well. The blue, which here looks so vibrant, but you really needed that more vibrance to it in order to make it pop in this neutral colour palette, and then a good old charcoal just to anchor it down. All of this has gone into making this tweed, and we're going to see it come to life in the mill today. The other thing I should add as well is that all of these colours have been carefully selected to represent colours that I find in my garden, because I wanted this fabric to have that depth of colour, but I also wanted it to be intrinsically inspired by the things that I love so much. So if you think of like the 500-year-old brick wall in my garden, this colour really, really represents that for me. We've got the blue of the sky where I think it just peeks through the trees with this greenery. We've got the stone. There's a lot of beautiful stone where we live, and just those earthy tones to anchor it all together. This is truly a one-off creation that we're doing here, and it is completely and utterly inspired by what I love, my life, the English countryside, which is something that both Jade and I really, really value and champion. So I'm so excited to see this coming together.
Thinking that we can hide it. Yes.
Like this.
Let me just check it there.
Sound check. Mic check 1, 2. You're on the mic, should be.
The beauty of being here is that you can just curate from scratch really anything that you'd like. You can see how wide the variety is of things that can be created, from the neutrals to the vibrant tartans and everything in between. And I think from the brief that you were saying and the natural tones that you love, and I think when I think of you, the colours that I think of that you synergise with I think these tones really sit with that aesthetic and that look and feel, and it's so timeless in creating those trans-seasonal pieces that can fit into your wardrobe forever and be those heirlooms, those classic moments without being too jarring. And I think when you see it like this here, that really epitomises that.
I think it's an absolute testament what we've brought to life here, because it's exactly what you say. I feel so much synergy with each of these colours, and yet bringing them together through the inspiration of my garden, where we've got the bricks, we've got the greenery, we've got the blues in there as well, and building that out into something that still feels like a neutral but yet has so much complexity to it. I genuinely cannot believe that we've created something so beautiful.
It's magic.
It is!
It's like magic! And to do it somewhere like this where you've got that real story, that heritage, and the real attention to detail and craftsmanship, again, I think is just lovely to celebrate that.
Responsible source wool and certification of all travel. So right from
like the footprint of the
Freddie the sheep's back, you will have a traceable document that it came from Freddie.
Okay. Are we going to be meeting Freddie today?
Yeah.
Only
Thanks, Freddie.
It can take you a bit further. If you don't have the full certification, if your maker doesn't have the certification, it falls down.
Right, so it's less desirable, you find, with customers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
important.
You've got to have the chain all the way through.
Yeah, Damo was really
So excited for that.
You'll need some of these when we're up by the looms because they are rather noisy.
Did you do it intentionally, ordering it to match your like this?
Okay, on the tour we go.
I can promise you it's the best hand warmer in winter you can ever have.
Wow.
Warmer than gloves. Just get some lumps in your hand to take away with you. Put them in your pocket and save them for winter.
Wow. It does feel glorious. It's amazing.
And combed out and then it's twisted.
So what we're seeing at the moment is the raw wool coming in and basically being mixed up, churned up, and then processed into these sort of, it's almost like sheets of wool, and it's amazing to think that this is what comes off the animals and this is what keeps them warm, and it makes so much sense that we now utilise those wools and this fabric that they don't need. They do have to get rid of it because otherwise it gets into a state. So this is part of the process in caring for the animals as well, but then we utilise it in this beautiful way to create almost like a form of art that I really do believe that that's what it is, where you see how intricate the fibres are of these fabrics. If you remember when I went to Scotland and I looked under the microscope at the fabrics there's so much to see. And when you look at this will come together to create a sort of almost forest green yarn. So there's so many different tones going into that one, and then if you want to create a taupe sort of shade, you've got multiple shades coming in to create that. You've got some more ivories, you've got a little bit of yellow in there, and then you've got a bit more of like a milk chocolatey brown, but this is the fascinating one. So this is what's really fascinating. So the more sort of inky blue that I showed you on the table, you're going to get that kind of blue from this differing shades. All of these come together to create the complexity of the colour, and it just looks like a bit of a mishmash here, but what you're going to see at the other end is how this comes together to create the yarns. How machinery and mechanics nowadays, it's like you get again
You get a computer.
Yeah,
I
you
think
lose
that's why I love
sight of
the vintage look.
Yeah.
This is celebrating that in its entirety.
It's just hand glaze on there like that. So I just need to show you, this is what we mean when we're talking about something being crafted from end to end. So that beautiful plethora of taupey shades that you saw, just literally not where that green bit is there, past that, goes into the machine there, comes and is processed through all of the different stages of this machine. Like that is, I'd say, 30 meters of machinery, and then what you find is it comes out with all of those complex colors coming together. You can see how beautiful the little yellowy hues that went into this have come out and just blended and just almost gone into sort of like a melange type fabric. And what they were just saying is they produce here, with all of these machines running, 8 to 10 tons of yarns, and it is all done through these machines, all done through this process. And this is why these things cost so much more, because this is a process that takes time, it takes consideration, it takes a huge amount of machinery. I mean, I'm fascinated. I don't know if you know this, I don't know if I've mentioned it, I probably have, I always think I've not mentioned things, but my parents used to own a factory in Edgware, and these machineries, it's just, they cost so much to keep, to run. And in order to do this, it means that you will pay a premium, but what you're getting is the thing that's super important. And what they do here at this mill is they own the, like, off the sheep's back, end to end, so that they can offer a quality that you just don't get anywhere else. And that's why it's so special, and that's why when you're buying tailoring from Holland Cooper and from this collection, you're going to know that you're not just supporting a British brand that is founded in Britain, it is also supporting so many crafts, so many people, so many workmen, so many family businesses in the process, just by ordering that one piece. And that's what makes this so exciting for me, because that's my dream, to be able to support our country in that way by supporting the crafts and supporting the industries. It just makes me so happy.
For the machinery.
Right, so that bobbin won't fit on the machinery. Then put it on. Is that a manual process, or is it done by that machine there? So I thought this is quite a fascinating process. What you just had seen was where the fibres went in, they come out, they're then spun onto these bobbins, and then they have an entire machine that takes the fibres and makes them less lively, which is a term that they use for when the fabric is a little bit like excited. So you see there's like a little bit of like movement in the fabric. They call it lively. And this is the machine that literally does that. So they have an entire machine that takes it from these bobbins over here and puts it onto these ones for the next stage, which is what we're going to see next. I'm in awe. And I was just saying to Jade, I'm really happy that we're doing this today, because I feel like there's such a huge education thing to do around this. Because I'm someone that loves this kind of thing, and I love learning about this kind of thing. Even I don't know about this. I didn't know that the production of this was so big, and how much machinery is needed, how much manpower is needed, how many colours are needed. And so from that, if I don't know about it, there'll be some of you that do, and I know you're very well educated people, but I also feel like I want this to be the norm, that we understand that this is how much work and love and craft that should be going into our clothes, and the clothes that we wear as much as possible every single day and get the wear out of. So I would say, I feel really lucky that I'm doing this today, because I'm hoping that you're going to learn something too. So we're in a very, very noisy part of the factory, so I hope you can hear me. But what you can see here is the colours going into the machine to create my very own tweed, and it is so beautiful, and I'm actually going to be able to press the start button on the machine. So I am literally taking a jacket home made of this fabric today, but I also want this one. Jade is wearing this one today.
scoured, we then inspect it again on the raw first.
How many stages do you, like, how many inspection stages are there?
So 5 times actually after being woven.
Gosh, wow. So only the best of the best gets through.
Yeah.
I love that.
And basically we have 2 finishes with woolen fabrics. The main one and the most popular one is decoratised, like your fabric, where it's pressed.
Right.
And the other one is mill wash. All we do is cut and blow it, and then it has steam added to it, and that helps lift it. You might have noticed your pattern, it lightens it.
Ah.
So if you would have put your finished pattern on the bit that was weaving in there, you'll have seen that the woven bit is a lot darker.
Yeah. Now that you mention it,
So once it goes in that big machine down there,
it's when it brings out the colours.
Yeah.
Right, so it's that's a process that you would do if you want to bring the colours out of something a little bit more, like, okay. Wow.
Just the girls with their crisps. Delicious.
I love how everyone's like, does she need a hand? I just get my camera out and film. It's terrible. Oh my goodness me, that was the longest journey home from Cheltenham that I have ever had. It took us nearly 3 hours, and I obviously got myself cozy on the way back. I was actually so glad that I bought this cardigan, even though I didn't wear it throughout the day. I looked out of the window this morning and I thought there is no way it's going to be 20 degrees. And then by the time we got to Cheltenham, the sun was splitting the streets and it was just so beautiful. And what an insane day, like honestly unbelievable. And I felt so lucky to be there with all of the people from the mill. Also just getting to chat with people like Gary and John who work at the mill, and just hearing all of their expertise and all of the things, like some of the, I think John had been there something like 48 years, I'm sure that's what he said. And that's, ow. And I was just thinking how many ages of sort of change to that industry he has had to navigate, because he literally said to me, so this is all done by camera, and I was like, well, when did it change from being a person to being a camera? And he was like, it was actually only about 3 or 4 years ago. I said, how was that? How was learning that? And he was like, it was interesting. It was so lovely, and just seeing how Jade literally lights up when she's looking at the fabrics, feeling the fabrics, the ideas that were coming out of her, and she was going, oh, let's do this, let's book this, when she's there, it was like a creative overflow, and it was actually a real pleasure to see how passionate she is, and also to see how some of her best ideas come to fruition. It was obviously incredibly special for me to be able to push the button on my very own tweed in the mill and set this collaboration free, I guess. This is it. It's happening. It's now. And hopefully the next time we come together, I will actually be able to show you a little bit more of the silhouette. I have a prototype with me, but we're obviously going to be making some tweaks and some changes, because that's how the best things come to life. And that's just one of the pieces. There are multiple pieces in this collection. I also left with the goods. There were some pieces that I have wanted. I talked about it the last time I was there. There was this beautiful navy pinstripe blazer, and I feel like if you're not just a navy blazer person and you want a little bit of something, this pinstripe is gorgeous. So I've come home with a few bits, so I thought I'd show you those. But it's just wonderful. And do you know what? I feel like I've actually got to know Jade and her team a lot better, and working with them is just so lovely, and it's just such a lovely experience, and I can really see how much effort they've put into this as well. This is, you know, it's very easy for me to come on here and say my collection. As you know, I work with these brands. I come in and I work with them, and there is a team of very, very special people working on this, and every time it's just even lovelier. And this was actually, I think, we laughed so much. Me and Jade on that flight were hilarious. We were like, it was a very bumpy flight. Anyway, So I thought I'd show you what I have. Oh, I can't show you this one because that's a prototype, but I can show you what's in the other ones. So they've got this new shirt at the moment, and I went onto the new in section the other day and I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, I need that shirt. This is not the shirt, this is the blazer. And I love that I can just try it on right now with you. This pinstripe. Do you know what this reminds me of? This is like British public schoolboy uniform made into a chic blazer. Like imagine this with a burgundy tie with a crest on it. I love it. I've got the burgundy tie, doesn't have a crest on it, but we're going to try it on together. Even though I don't want to take off my cozy cardigan, and I am going to get into my pajamas because that was a long old day and I actually didn't sleep that well last night. I feel like I'm always telling you that I didn't sleep that well. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Oh, it's even better in person. It is even better in person. Like it's just so structured and so gorgeous. And I feel like it definitely ties in really well with a white dress because of the pinstripe. Such a classic, you can never go wrong. And I hope that through what I've shown today, you know, I'm sure there are many of you that do know, and I never like to feel like I'm telling you how to suck eggs. I know that you're all very well educated and you know lots of things, but I just hope that it reminds you of the bigger picture of some of these crafts and industries that shopping like this supports, because I'm really passionate about that and I really want to see this type of craft and industry do really well, and especially when you meet such lovely people at the mills as well. It is just so special. And the bonus is that when you support these things, you get lovely, lovely things that are going to withstand the test of time in your wardrobe as well. And this is just, imagine, oh, my straw boater, Henley regatta style. Oh yes. Anyway, that's the blazer. Do I have the shirt to show you? Although I won't be able to style it up so nicely right now, but this is such a gorgeous shirt. Yeah, we've got the shirt. We've got the shirt. I've actually got two. Oh, the pink blazer as well. The pink blazer. This is going to be my everyday. So this is like a pinstripe shirt. Now I wouldn't wear it with the pinstripe blazer. This would look gorgeous with a pair of linen trousers. This is such a beautiful fabric as well. What is this fabric? 100% cotton. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love the little embroidery on there. You're going to see a lot of this. Even with like my ivory shorts that I've got in silk. This is gorgeous. I love it. And then the pink blazer, which you might feel like is a bit of a wild card, but I saw Jade styling this up. This is like a muted pink, and it's like a sort of summer linen wool blend. And I loved how feminine this was, but still like, it's like a classy pink. Do you know what I mean? This is like a, it's got the pinstripe in it. Oh yes. Let's try this one on as well. This is when you're having a bit of fun. Imagine this with like a pink floral hat. This is so pretty. I am so not a pink person usually, and you know this, but this is my kind of pink. Like if you were to have a floral dress with pink in, this is gonna look gorgeous paired with it. I love this kind of thing with like a floral element and then popping something that's a bit more structured in. As you know, I'm a big fan of Holland Cooper, and I have been for a long time, and our style is very, very much in synergy. It's so lovely when we sit in these design meetings and it just feels so easy. So easy. But I'll link all of the pieces that I've shown you in the description box down below, and the countdown begins because the tweed is now in production. It is fully in production. Now we need to think about what we're going to name the tweed. I've got an idea, but have you got an idea? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think we should call the tweed? The colours and the tones in it, like I said, we've taken inspiration from my garden, from the place that inspires me the most and has inspired me and has taught me so much. I think my whole journey over the last few years came from the garden and growing and growth and that kind of thing. And so those beautiful terracotta burgundy tones of the old brick wall, the beautiful mossy green tones in there, the blue skies, all of that beauty has gone into this fabric. What are we going to call it? I don't know. What are we going to call it? What are we going to call it? But yes, what a wonderful day. I'm going to get into my comfies now because I have been in this dress all day and I just want to be a sloth. And my husband is back from his golf trip and I can't wait to just have dinner and snuggle and read my book, and I'm gonna have a glass. Good afternoon, it's 2:30 and I am about to head in to the poultry centre because, as you know, we have lost a few chickens recently and it's been a learning curve owning chickens. And I have to say a huge thank you to one of my followers who told me a method that she was utilising with her own chickens that felt very lovely and sustainable. And I think if you're about to embark on your chicken journey or you are a seasoned chicken owner, you might not have come across this, but basically what her suggestion was is that you have a set of names and you keep the same name when you replace a chicken. And obviously replace is the most awful word that you could use because I love all of my chickens, but it's essentially a reintroduction of her, and whatever chicken takes her place in the coop, she'll keep the same name. So for example, we might have a Bluebell, we might have a Lord Grantham, and that kind of thing, and that just stays. Obviously if we end up getting more chickens, because we never introduce like a single chicken, we always do two, because obviously chickens can be quite vicious to each other, so it's good for them to have a friend when they're introduced. So we may end up with more, and that's when we'll utilise a new name. Does that make sense? So like when we lost Bluebell, we would then replace Bluebell with another Bluebell, and so on and so forth. That's what I'm doing today. However, I don't know if I'm going to get away with this. He might absolutely kill me, but I really feel like just coming home with an extra chicken and being like, oh my gosh, how did that get there? He might kill me. He might, but I feel like we're at the point where he can just handle another chicken. So we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna do it. At least I'll learn my lesson if he's not okay with it. But I've spent the morning at the stables with Atlas. We went on a really, really lovely, slightly blustery hack on a new route, which was really nice. And then I just kind of sat with him for about 45 minutes in the paddock and just listened to him munching, and I made his dinner for this evening. And so now I'm coming to pick up some more chickens, so I thought you could come with me. Other than that, not much else has happened. I had a wine walk with Carrie yesterday, and it's the lovely bank holiday, so I'm just pretty much enjoying myself. So I'm gonna head in and hopefully I'll be leaving with some chickens today. Well, I've done it. It was so busy in there. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for all of the people working there. Not because obviously their jobs are bad, but like, it's just, I always remember what my time in retail was like, and bless them, you know, they're a little bit stretched. But I've got my olive egger. They also had buff Cochins, and we also got a Burford Brown as well. So I'm gonna head home. I'm hoping that he's in a good mood so that he can just see the funny side when I say, obviously, oh, how'd they manage that? Oh, you can hear them in the back. Okay, anyway, we're heading home, Literally in the garden. I'm gonna open the boot and he's gonna take them out. Oh, hello, Porty. Right, should I put the dogs in?
No, so close the gate.
Oh, right, you're gonna put them in there.
I bloody knew you were. I knew you were.
And they must have given me someone else's order.
I knew you were going to get 3. I almost said to you, just get 3. Because I was like, I may as well just get 3.
I know, that's what I thought.
Love it.
So she's the olive egger.
Yeah, I'm pleased you did. I actually, honestly, I almost said just get 3.
Oh my god, I started my vlog by saying I'm gonna get 3 and I'm gonna tell him they must have given me someone else's order.
Yeah. Boys, it's not for you. Anything that comes in the box.
I know, he thinks it's...
Must be for them.
Yeah, he thinks it's Amazon.
These guys can just come out in their own... Oh, that's an Orpington.
No, that's the Cochin.
Oh, really? Right, you get away from your poo.
Oh gosh, you silly moose.
Right, in your own time you can come out.
Yeah, there's no fuss.
Hello. Good girl.
The other girls are out here.
Well, you are lovely. I feel like we need to name it like after like a gladiator, like Lightning or something.
Well, Olive, I think, is a nice name.
Oh, is she the olive layer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, we've got Beatrix. And then we've got, and I was thinking...
What are gladiator girl names?
Storm.
She looks like Storm.
No.
Storm, yeah. Hello, Storm.
Isn't Storm Wolverine?
I don't know, you're probably right. Let's just call it Olive.
Yeah,
nice.
Olive's a nice name. Olive, Flora,
Don't encourage those out.
and Beatrix. Well, that went spectacularly better than I expected. He was going to tell me to get 3 anyway. It's like I could read his mind. I am now rushing around, just getting everything sorted because we're actually having Carrie and her partner over for a bit of a sort of impulsive dinner. And we did this wonderful thing at New Year's, but I don't know if I remember that I told you about, but we did like fizz and chips. We're not doing that, but we're just making like homemade chips, putting the barbecue on, salads from the garden, just all of the goodness, and just coming together and basically having a nice time and having a drink and having some good food. So I am currently rushing around. I've done a salad, I've got some garlic butter out and herb butter out. I'm just about to fill up the ice bucket. Salad done, chips are cut, herbed and salted. I did want to do a cake. I don't know if I'll get around to that. I've just taken the sourdough croutons out of the oven. Only did 10 minutes this time and I think I've nailed it. Now I need to quickly run into the garden and pick some posies for the tablescape. I'm utilising a load of little bud vases and pickling jars. So I'm just going to do some roses, some wildflowers, some mint, catmint, all of that stuff, and just quickly throw something together. Honestly, could not hate rushing. Do you know what? I can never ever talk to you guys when I'm trying to get ready to have guests over because I really have to like get my mind into things. So this is very difficult for me, but we're gonna go with it anyway and get ourselves some flowers from the garden. I haven't even got a trug yet. Gosh, I really want that rose there, but you're not gonna be able to see me do it. Come on, Rosie Rose. Loads here. Oh yeah. Okay. I've got the wrong equipment for this, but I need to get them in the water. That's my shears in front of the screen there. This is why I can't do it. I can't film these things when I'm actually doing them because I am honestly chaotic. Just gonna get as many roses into these as possible. Lovely. Little rose there. Oh, we've definitely got more we can get. Cute. Oh, so cute. And then we've got this tiny little one. Look how cute this one is. You can go in her. Right, now we need some greenery. We need the greenery. Ali and I were just having a giggle in the garden because he was like, oh, I really like the ginger one. I've not introduced you to them yet, I promise I will. And I said, well, there was a white one and a ginger one, but I thought I was pushing my luck if I got 4. And he goes, well, you should have done. I'm like, babe, don't say this to me because I will come home with a whole new flock. But I've got my greenery. Anyway, back to the point at hand. I've got my greenery. So I'm just gonna add in some little bits of catmint, like this, oxeye daisies. This is why I'll never be Meghan Markle, because I've not got a team to capture these things. It's just me and the little camera, and we don't always get the angles, unfortunately. But hopefully I'll show you the finished result. That's what matters. And one day when I've got enough time when I'm doing this, I'll just show you. But I always take the mint leaves off further down. Hello. I know, long time no see. Oh gosh.
And the madness commences.
Yeah. It looks lovely. These two are just the most adorable little boyfriend and girlfriend together. Barkley loves Tatty so much. Look, he'll be so upset that she's decided to go inside. Where you gone? Where you gone? Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. Where's she go? Come on, Barky. Come on. the hooligan. You've been very badly behaved. We're sending you back to puppy school because we've had some very, very bad behaviour from Porter recently. Barkley, on the other hand, golden, absolute golden child. Good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday was lovely. I was in full panic mode when Ali's like, you did mention to me that Carrie said about doing something on Sunday, so I'm gonna message them and see if they're coming over. And I'm like, I've been at the stables all day, I've not even showered, and I've definitely not planned anything for food wise, and I've got to go and pick up the new chickens. And I realised that I didn't actually tell you anything about the new chickens and why I was going to pick up new chickens in the first place. I know I said I wasn't going to update you every time we lost a chicken, but we did have our first very unfortunate fox situation. We definitely know it's a fox. He or she only got one. Obviously one is always too much. He also got the duck and the babies from the farmer. All we know is that the farmer claims to have dealt with the situation. It's not the situation I would ever want, but you know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So yes, only one of the chickens unfortunately was taken. It was one of the original ones, Beatrix, and so that is why we have replaced with another Beatrix. And Ali obviously blew my absolute mind when he was like, you should have come home with 4, because I wanted one of the white buff cochins, and I thought no, I didn't want to take the mick from that moment. However, loveliest evening, honestly. Like, you know those friends that like you can just kind of like cook with and do things with in the kitchen? That's what we've got with Carrie and her partner, and it's so lovely to like come together and like produce dinner and then sit down and eat it and drink wine together. And honestly, it's so lovely, and that's what we did. And we all said we need to do another fizz and chips night, because fizz and chips is just the one. If you've not done it, trust me, it's the best. When you make it from scratch, we made the peas, we made the battered fish, and it was fresh fish. We made chips from scratch. So good. We were so full yesterday that we didn't have dessert, even though I made sure that we had at least meringues so that we could have it with ice cream and berries and things like that, like a sort of makeshift deconstructed pavlova. One thing I'd like to do, I always say it, because pavlova is one of my favourite dishes, I need to learn how to make pavlova. That's something, and I know it's one of the easiest ones, but on a day like today, I truly know how much frustrations I feel with my mind, because I have so much that I want to do with you, and I don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to talk to you about it and go from there. I have spent the morning potting up my new geraniums that you would have seen me get in my previous vlog when I went to Time with Irene. I potted up my orange fizz pelargonium. So this is one that smells like basically orange fizz, and I've popped it in this little pot for now, but likely it will get bigger and I'll need to pot it on. I also potted up my other rose geranium. Is that the other one? It's so funny, the moment you put them into a pot that is good for them, they just thrive. Like literally, I potted this morning and it's just looking wonderful. And because I've obviously been learning about the fact that you can use rose geranium leaves in cooking, I've been researching so many things. And I actually think that there's enough leaves on here to be able to do what I want with. I want to make some rose geranium sugar, which is the easiest thing to make ever. You literally just put a load of rose geranium leaves into some sugar and leave it overnight or as long as possible to infuse. And the fragrance of the leaves will infuse with the sugar, and you can use that, you can then whiz it up and have it a bit more powdery, but you can use that to top desserts, or you can use it in making like icing, and that I thought was lovely. One of the other things I'm going to do, I've asked Ali to pick up some sticks of butter. I want to make my lemon cake, which I love, but give it a rose geranium twist. I'm going to see how this goes. So first of all, I am going to infuse the rose geranium leaves with sugar. I'm also going to wrap the butter. This might be overkill, we're going to see. I just want to try it out. I'm going to wrap the butter in rose geranium leaves, and then I'm also going to try and line the baking tray and just see how it comes out, because I often pop blueberries or raspberries in, but I love the idea of a lemon and rose geranium cake, but just that hint of rose geranium. Who knows? It might fail spectacularly, but it's a cake that I enjoy making and I'd love to give it that twist. So that's that. I just feel so overwhelmed today. It's unbelievable. I feel so like there's so many things I want to do and I don't even know where to start. I want to make myself lunch and I want to have salad from my kitchen garden. And so I kind of need to pick that too. I need to pick the rose geranium leaves. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to go and grab my little basket and I'm going to pick and begin, and then we're just going to try and make sense of things. Because I'm obviously at that point in my own cycle that my head gets like this. But I am loving how my greenhouse is looking with my little mini collection of pelargoniums, geraniums, whatever you want to call them. I've been giving them a little bit of a prune up and sort of re-healthify, because this one I purchased from Fibrex and I think it just needed a little bit of aerating from here, just getting these woody bits off and giving it a bit of a fresh start. This is the Old Spice. I also potted up my Blandfordianum roseum. So this is like a sort of minty rose geranium as well. That's gone into a little aged terracotta pot, like so as well. So we've just been doing bits and pieces out here. It's a very blustery day, and I'll give you a bit of an update on the chickens as well. But let's go get my basket. Let's try and like calm our minds. Let's make some food. And hopefully once I've had something in me, my brain will start making sense. What I forgot to say was we didn't catch the actual fox attack on camera. We did find Beatrice's feathers and we did see the other chickens come running. Now we try to strike a balance with our chickens, with them roaming free, because if you didn't know, free range basically means that they have a square metre per chicken. So they are still enclosed and can be in quite a small space. I think it's pasture range or pasture raised is when they are just allowed to roam free, which is what our chickens are. We do that because we want them to have the best quality of life. If we were to keep them in their coop, in their pen, sorry, they would be free range and they would be safe from foxes. Well, we hope. The video that we have of the fox coming back the next day, thank goodness Ali had decided to keep the chickens in that day. The fox launched itself at the coop, the pen, and the chickens, bless them, they knew it was there. They knew it was there for a while, but it just launched itself at the chicken wire and was circling and running around, and we got all of that on CCTV. Yes, like I said, we understand that we run that risk. It's like driving a car. You know that there is the possibility you can have an accident when you drive your car, but for the greater good of your life and the ease and that kind of thing and the ability to move around, you drive your car. And it's the same with the chickens. We understand that it runs a potential risk, and we have been so lucky these last few years to have never had any problems. I honestly can't believe how lucky we were for the first 2 years, but this is the situation now. Today the chickens are out roaming, the 3 new chickens are in the pen, and that's where we're at. So it is one of those things that you've got to make up what's best for you, and what we believe is best for our chickens is that they are pasteurized, raised. But I've got my little basket. I'm going to get my geranium leaves. I'm going to do a cup and a half of, because it's just easy, I'm going to pop it into one of my little jars, because what you do is you put the sugar into the jar and literally just leave it. Is this going to go everywhere? Good start, Lydia. What I'm going to do is put the leaves into this. Do we have a lid? Do we have a lid? That is it. That is the lid. Lovely. We've started saving all of our jars, and like pickle jars and things like that, so that we can just reuse them for storage. It's so much easier. So I'll put them in. I'll probably give it a shake as well, and I'll probably give the leaves a bit of a rub, just so that they start releasing their oils and things like that into the sugar. But I'm very excited. And then I'm going to grab some salad leaves, a radish I reckon, lots of bits and pieces, just so that I can throw them into a salad as well, because I'm hungry. I made more sourdough croutons yesterday, so I'll finish those off and make myself something with lots of sustenance in it. I've actually got some chicken I can put in it as well.
Well, lunch is served.
Also got 6 of the healthiest looking rose geranium leaves, which I'm just going to give a quick massage and then pop into the jar of sugar that I've already prepared. So I have just massaged 6 rose geranium leaves and popped them in this airtight jar. The other one, the lid actually didn't fit, so it wasn't airtight, so I've popped it into this one. And I'm gonna leave this overnight, and I'll use this tomorrow to make a cake, which I'm very excited about. Right, the salad has been washed and chopped. Honestly, I always find bits of soil or a bug or something in my salad, but I think it's just, you know, it's part and parcel of the fact that you've, ooh, and that is my sourdough starter alarm. This is the radish that I picked. I've actually just shoved a few more that I've grown in my greenhouse into the soil just to replace these. That looks a bit sad at the moment. And salads for me are for when you use the good olive oil. And this is Charlotte Rice's olive oil that you cannot buy, which is perfect for my little salad. So we're gonna pop some olive oil on. Pardon the fly that is humming around somewhere. As long as he leaves me alone, I'll leave him alone. A little pinch of Cornish Co salt. Gotta have the salt on your salad. Lovely. Oh, we've got some sweet corn left over from the barbecue. Definitely not wasting the sweet corn. So what I'm going to do is take the sweet corn off. Sweet corn is going in. Barbecued sweet corn in salad. Oh, what a dream. Now, do we have some chicken? We do, we absolutely do. Gotta get some crunch in there. Oh my God, my mouth is watering, it's so embarrassing. I'm going to get some nuts and bits and pieces like that just to shove in. Nuts, some seeds. I think these are pumpkin seeds. Poppy seeds. Shoal. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to just tear this chicken thigh apart and just pop it in all honesty, because, oh, you can't see anything I've been doing. Oh guys, I'm so sorry. Oh, barbecue chicken in a salad. Don't mind if I bloomin' do. Now I'm going to mix all of that in. It's coming together nicely though. Lots of different textures and colours, which is what we want. Oh, that's a big bit of chicken. Next up, I'm going to put some white condiment on. This is the Belazou white condiment. It's wonderful. The perfect, like, vinegar. It's like a light, vinegary dressing, and it's delicious. Absolutely, it's kind of like sweet and tangy. Now, time for the croutons. These are the sourdough homemade croutons that I'm just going to shove on. I don't need all of them, but we might as well. Blumeneck. This is a big old salad, but I love it, and now I'm gonna have some lunch. Hopefully it'll give me some brain function back, because I feel like I'm like not with it today. Oh my goodness me, this is so good. Oh, that salad was so good, and I feel so much better. Oh, I always leave it too long between what I have like mid to late morning and lunchtime, and I was so hungry. However, I have just unboxed something. This is from Weleda, and I'm not hugely like familiar with Weleda, but you know that anything that's got flowers on the front of it is going to catch my attention. And this is their smoothing day cream, and it has wild rose and white tea in it, and it's supposed to focus on the first sort of fine lines and also immediate moisture boosting. And so I think I might give this a try this evening, because I really enjoy nourishing products. Now, these days it takes a lot. I don't often show you like PR unboxings of beauty things on my channel, just because it's a lot, I think, and I'd rather show you the products that interest me. And this was definitely instantly, oh, it has the smell that I love. That to me is just like a cozy fragrance. I love rose, everything rose. It just makes me feel like I'm living, oh, the most sort of like dreamy existence. Like smell, atmosphere, all of those kinds of things just wrap me up in a lovely, abundant feeling. And I love it when beauty products encapsulate everything that I love about like beauty. And this is all about obviously looking after your skin, but it's also very, very immersive. And I'm definitely going to try this tomorrow morning. I'll let you know what I think. But I've infused my sugar, obviously. I've also just fed my sourdough starter, because I need to make 2 loaves, won't make them with you, don't worry. I'm going to try baking my lemon cake with a base of geranium leaves in the bottom of the cake and see how that works. Because I think if I put loads of geranium in one go, it might obviously overwhelm, who knows. So I thought, why not just try it? And then whilst things infuse, I can add those in like butter, blah, 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 blah. So we're gonna go and pick some more geranium leaves. I'm gonna need some more rose geraniums at this point because, oh. So I have lined the baking tin with the rose geranium leaves, and I'm just going to make the batter and I'm going to bake it once it's ready and see how it turns out. Who knows, maybe rose geranium and lemon is not the cake for it, but it's the cake that I'm good at, and that's what we're going to try. Well, she's out of the oven and she's looking like a big giant blueberry muffin. Now what I think I'm going to try is actually something I've not done with this cake before. And I'm going to try it without the drizzle, just a little slice of it I think, so I'm going to let it cool and then see if you can taste the flavours of the rose geranium. This is testing in real time a different style of cake, but we're going to find out if it's any good or if we need to incorporate it to the butter and whether this cake works without the drizzle. We shall find out. The moment I took this off, I got the aromas of the leaves. And I can smell it in the cake. This is a bit of a moment. I also used these little cake liners because I was always using baking paper, and in all honesty it was just a pain in the backside. So I'm gonna try the cake because in all honesty I always have it with the lemon drizzle, but I think I probably would like it without. It'd just be like a nice fluffy cake. Right, let's try it. Get to use my new cake forks for the first time. Don't get too excited, madam, it might taste horrific. Let's go for this bit here, shall we? I'm just going to take a tiny little sliver. It's not a tiny little sliver, yeah, that was a big bit of cake. Oh, poo sticks. So we've lost the bottom of the cake because the leaf was underneath. So that is something to consider. It's nice and fluffy. I don't know if I'm going to make this cake with the lemon drizzle anymore. Antique cake fork that has been washed, I promise. Can I have... That is literally the perfect sponge cake with a hint of lemon. Oh my gosh, why have I been doing the drizzle all this time? So I'm not getting any of the rose geranium. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making the rose geranium butter and sugar instead and trying it that way because I don't want to waste the leaves, and also it's a bit of a faff putting it under the cake. So I reckon the sugar will do enough, but honestly, I'm never doing it with the drizzle again. And if I was to do 2 of these and some buttercream or something, rose geranium buttercream for that matter, you could do a layer cake. Oh, this is so exciting. I love learning new things with you, and honestly, I feel like it's been a bit of a funny week for me. Sorry, Annie's watching a very dramatic film next door and I can never pay attention. But it's been one of those weeks where it's like, you just sort of find yourself questioning things, and what I do in those moments when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, am I making a big mistake? What am I doing? I feel like I'm floundering. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I listen to all of the things that like fill me up and remind me of why I'm living the life that I live now. And honestly, if you listen to one book, I would genuinely recommend Simple Abundance. Some of it can be a little bit fluffy, but like it's one of those books where you can give and take so much of it. I take so much of it. Like honestly, I get so much inspiration, direction, and that kind of thing from just listening to each day and the seasonality of it, the lifestyle element, the reminder that there's more of us out there. It's, you know, sometimes you're like, is it just me that wants to just waft around my garden in linen and pick the flowers from my garden in totally inappropriate clothing but not care? Anyway, that's my cake. I'm also hoping that you're super excited about this stage in the Holland Cooper collaboration. I can't believe that the Tweed is in motion. I'm currently trying to obviously think about naming the Tweed, but it's unbelievable that I get to have my own Tweed. And I think that's one of those things where you're like, you're not from a family that has their own Tweed. So I made my own family and I made my own Tweed, and stick that in your pipe and smoke it. But I'm very excited. Now it's getting down to the nitty gritty and finalizing the last pieces, the last details, and just bringing every little piece together, because I want this to be so special for you all, and I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really excited about this collaboration. It's been one of those things where it's like there's been people like reporting on their thoughts about it and things like that, about the collaboration between us, and I just think I'm so excited that there's such a buzz around it, and it's totally not lost on me. I am fully grateful and fully excited. So I'm gonna eat my cake, shut up and go to bed, because it's been a triumphant day in the world of cake baking. First and foremost, because I can make a good lemon drizzle, but I can also make a hint of lemon sponge, and that's great. And also, my Tweed is out there in the world, and what an amazing day. So I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna cut a slice for Ali, because Ali will be very upset if he doesn't get a bit of cake.